energy surrounds us and binds us.
What's up, Marvel fans, and welcome back to another review here on Carbonite Convos. We just finished the season finale of Moon Knight, and I don't even know where to begin. So I guess we'll just jump in. What did you think of the episode as a whole?
I think it has made this series so bizarre out there. We have no idea what's real, what happened, what didn't happen. I mean, odds are everything we saw happen actually did happen. However, there's so many things in between the lines now that we have Jake Lockley established as a character, that in between each of these little parts of the episode that were happening where he kept blacking out, and I just want to know what has happened in that time and just where we go from here.
Well, I think, everybody was expecting Jake at some point. There have been some subtle hints to it, both in the show, in the series and out in the real world by Oscar Isaac, by Kevin Feige, all this stuff. So I think everybody was expecting Jake at some point. And right when, we saw Mark staring down, Judgment, he blacks out. Everybody is just demolished. I think everybody knew at that point, at least you and I did, that was Jake. We were like, who was that?
Mm-hmm.
But, that's just a reaction as well, kind of that immediate mind racing. But, it's Jake. And kind of like I said in the reaction, I think where we go forward here is that up to this point, this whole ordeal with Moon Knight season 1 has been Mark and Steven finding that balance together and accepting each other. Steven came about when Mark needed someone to be that positive influence in his life and to shield him from the abuse that he was dealing with. So that birthed Steven. Steven and Mark accept each other as each other's counterparts. So there had to have been something else that happened either in Mark or Steven's life that created Jake. And it seems like, especially what Kanju said and following what I said in the reaction, to loop it all back, I think moving forward, it's going to be about finding that balance with Jake, because he doesn't seem like
as
a
easy
guy,
going.
right? Yeah, he doesn't seem like a good guy right now. He was arguably, he's doing exactly what Mark was doing up until this point, but he killed Harrow, so Amit's dead. I assume that Amit is dead. That's just me. I don't think they'll go back to Amit. I think that was season 1. I think, they bound her to a mortal life and then they killed that mortal life. So I think they're both gone. But yeah, I think moving forward, it's just dealing with the issues of having Jake Lockley in there.
Yeah, no doubt. I think it's very unfortunate. Khonshu is kind of a bad character.
Yeah.
Not a bad character, but like bad as in not a hero.
Yeah.
Because obviously he knows how troubled Mark is, and for him to prey on him, especially with Jake and taking over that alter ego, it just kind of shows like Khonshu doesn't really care about anything but himself, obviously. But like you said, Steven was created in a part of Mark's life where he needed that positive outlook. I can only imagine Jake was created for those terrible things he had to do, where
he needed to forget them,
or he was a mercenary for a while and he wanted to forget them. So it was Jake committing those violent acts and not him.
I like that. Going back to Kanju really quick, I think it's interesting how, Mark or Steven, who I think it was Mark who said it, he said, you're punishing Amit for something. Kanju said that she will kill again, even though she has up to this point, which he is getting revenge for that. So I wouldn't necessarily say he's exactly like Amit, because he is punishing her for something she has already done.
Mm-hmm.
But he does make a good point that he's following in her steps for, eliminating evil before it's happened, even though she has done evil. But I think that showed that you're absolutely right. Kanju is out for his own self-interest and honesty. I think he's that Robin Hood type of character where not Robin Hood because he steals from the rich and gives to the poor, but that was a bad example. But he's this guy that wants to take out evil. Again, it's after it happens. He gives people choice, which I do admire that about the character, because that goes along with, Christianity and the God that, I serve, where, God knows exactly what's going to happen. I don't think Kanju does, but God knows what choice we're going to make, but he still gives us that choice to make ourselves, and that's this big difference of free will and, servantship, I guess, or enslavement, I guess. I don't know how to put that, but I think it's a very interesting relationship that we've seen up till this point, and it's only going to get more interesting.
Yeah, man. I want to know if there's any people throughout the MCU so far that have been avatars for any other gods that we just haven't really been exposed to yet. Obviously, there's a ton of them. And
Well, when you
now
think about
there's
it,
a good
isn't
chunk of
Black,
them we're taking out. Black Panther
yeah,
is one,
isn't he an avatar pretty much? I mean,
essentially, right?
yeah, it's a different religion, different belief system, but it kind of goes along those same, ideals, I guess,
hmm
where you're
I
taking
think
up.
the only way that's different is like I guess how they get the power because you have to drink the heart-shaped herb
Yeah,
from in order to take over the Black Panther power.
yeah, and I guess he doesn't actually have like a Black Panther commanding him on what to do.
hmm
Um,
Well, there's a theory that
Bust. You're
Bast
fine.
is imprisoned in stone on that wall.
I haven't seen that. I've seen
And
that he was in the. Wait, is Boss? I think Boss was a girl. I don't know. I can't remember. Yeah,
she.
he or she. I can't remember. I saw that she was that the god was in statue form, not
Mm,
like the little stone statue, but the big ones that were around the room.
mm.
I
No,
don't know.
that would make sense. It's interesting though. I feel like just like the relationship between the Black Panther and Bast are different because they don't, at least what we've seen, they don't really communicate.
Yeah,
Versus how
exactly.
Khonshu and these other avatars were communicating, and the god was speaking through them.
Yeah. Now, do you think Layla truly is just a temporary avatar, or do you think that?
I don't think it works like that.
Yeah.
I don't think it works like that.
hmm But Tararet doesn't seem like the type of goddess that is going to enslave someone like that. She seems like a very cool god.
Right.
I don't know.
I did. Okay, got to go back to the episode for a second when Mark and Steven were walking through the door after she saved them and he yells
Yeah.
hippo. I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. That
There
was one
were
of
a
my favorite
couple
parts.
times where there was some good comedic relief early on in the episode. I liked it. Um, I would have liked the final battle to be a little more out there. I mean,
I
you're
would say
seeing
it seemed a little not easy, but like
no, I
it
think
kind of took
I
her
agree.
down simple.
Yeah, I mean, you have like
These
fairly
two
large giant
huge.
gods, and we see them blow like what, like 5 punches.
hmm
And then even the fight scene between Harrow and Mark and Layla, and Steven, it's really not that like there was some cool action, but there wasn't much. And I think this series, up until this point, like the entire series as a whole, it really hasn't been about the action. It's been about the mind, which
hmm
I still think it is that they're following that. But I would have liked to see the suit more. I would have liked just to see more action in, this final episode.
Yeah, man, we got like maybe 15 minutes of Moon Knight throughout the whole thing.
Yeah, not a lot, which is okay. You have to build the character. And again, this is an origin story. So there's so many routes they could go from here. But I don't know. Where do you see this ending up?
I don't know, man. I don't know the next time we're gonna see him.
Yeah.
There's no telling what's it gonna be. Could it be in Doctor Strange in 2 days? Could it be in Blade? Could it be in something along the lines of more mystical stuff? I have no idea. Um, I feel like
It,
there's a
it's
reason that this was dropped and the finale came out 2 or 3 days before Doctor Strange came out. and that
I
we
don't
might see him in some capacity in the movie.
I don't know. Like I want to think that too, because we just got this badass superhero, and I'd love to see him immediately, but I just can't see him fitting into Doctor Strange right now.
Hmm.
I don't know. Like I know that I don't know. Like the timing is strange, but I don't see it, and you're seeing it Thursday,
I'm
right?
seeing it Thursday,
Same. I'm seeing it at 6:30. What time are you seeing it?
6:30.
Same. Oh
But
man, so you're gonna be
it'll be
I'm
3
3 hours
hours
ahead,
after
so
you
you're gonna be starting as
as
I'm
you're finishing.
finishing.
Hmm.
Ooh, I'm just gonna text you, yo, Doctor Strange dies. Wong, the real supervillain. No,
Oh
I'm
my
excited.
gosh.
Man, like I just don't see him fitting into I don't see him
Yeah.
fitting into the movie. I don't see how it would,
I
you
don't know,
know?
man. I'm hoping going forward we have some collaboration between him and Spider-Man, because the quips and the conversations that they have throughout the comics are too funny to not have.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you think of the next project coming up after that, it's going to be Thor. And Moon Knight and Thor have been in the comics together frequently too. So that could
Hmm.
be something big too, especially with Mjolnir returning. It's made out of moon rock. Moon Knight has lifted Mjolnir. So I'm super interested to see how that works. Yeah, I don't know. I could see him maybe popping up in Thor just because of their comic history, but I think more realistically, he's gonna stay. It's not street level, because Daredevil, Punisher, they're street level. Spider-Man, that's
Hmm.
street. But what was this one? It was a different word, so he fits more into the category with like Blade and whatnot.
Hmm.
Um, but there's a very real possibility with Daredevil rumored to be getting a new project. We could see Daredevil, Punisher, Blade, Moon Knight all together,
Yeah,
because they have to. I know that we saw Matt Murdock in No Way Home, but if he's being introduced into the MCU and all these characters are being brought in as well, they have to make it coincide a little more than just throwing him in No Way Home. There
no
has to
doubt.
be an explanation of how the Daredevil series connects into the MCU.
No question. It has to be
So I
something
think,
that ties it in.
yeah. And you think of Daredevil not wanting to kill anybody, and Mark seeming to be past that point, but having Jake Lockley as Moon Knight, uh, completely willing, along with Punisher, who's completely willing. That's a recipe for a crazy.
Pretty ragtag team
Yeah,
of
exactly.
good guys and
Yeah,
some not so good guys.
I know, right? It's unfortunate because I'd like to see Mark and Steven as superheroes again. You know what I mean? I
No
would really
doubt.
like to see that with the suit and
Well,
be
I
able to
like
go
how they were
fight
able to
crime.
switch back and forth and
Yeah.
have balance and like, all right, your turn. Oh, your turn.
Yeah. And I like that a lot, but I don't think we're going to be able to get that without getting Kanju in
Hmm.
the other aspect, which, that's the hero gig. But I don't
Because
know.
that's what
Overall,
heroes do.
yeah. I liked the series. I think it's fun coming each week, not knowing what's going on, especially these past few weeks where they've just kept us very in the dark, just not having a clue. It
Hmm.
reminds me a lot of WandaVision, just the vibes we would get when the show would end.
I'm just having no idea what is happening.
Yeah. So, I like the series as a whole. I would have liked to see more Moon Knight and I would have liked more action. Um, but overall, I
Should have been
enjoyed the
called the Mark
series.
and Steven show.
Yeah. Mark Spector, Stephen Grant. Yeah, no, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I'm excited to see him in the MCU moving forward. So yeah, that's where I'll leave it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you for tuning into our review. We kept it a little short tonight, but the overall consensus is Moon Knight. 2 thumbs up. But thank you again for joining us. Make sure to check out our reaction if you didn't get to it first. We will have it in the link in the description. Happy May the 4th. Today we're recording it on, technically May the 4th, but happy May the 4th for all of you fellow Star Wars fans. We are getting a Kenobi trailer very soon today, so you can expect a reaction of that as well. But until the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer number 2 reaction, may the Force be with you.
Remember, the Force will be with you, always.